Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome to the GMB channel. Hope you will enjoy our video. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Here is the news title. Half of farmers consider quitting industry after Rachel Reeves' inheritance raid. The Chancellor is levying farmers further as they already grapple with inflation. Half of UK farmers have reconsidered their future in the sector due to a rise in financial pressures in the last year, new research has found. It comes as Rachel Reeves is set to increase the tax burden on growers, despite inflation and already narrowing margins. From April 2026, taxes would apply to agricultural assets over 1 million, or up to 3 million in certain circumstances. Now, frozen potato manufacturer McCain has said that a survey of arable farming decision-makers it commissioned has revealed that rising energy, 35%, and fertilizer costs, 32%, as well as environmental threats, 36%, are having the biggest pressure on farmers' finances. The firm added that financial pressures are not only affecting farm operations, but are also the primary factor, 55%, straining farmers' mental health. From April 2026, inheritance tax relief for business and agricultural assets will be capped at $1 million, with a new reduced rate of 20% being charged above that. Earlier this month, Mo Metcalf-Fisher, director at the Countryside Alliance, told the Express that farmers are already having difficult conversations about the future of their land after the Chancellor presented her budget in October. The policy, he added, will push farms over the edge, and the country's largest supermarkets, such as Sainsbury's, Tesco, and Asda, will have to switch to foreign imports of food. 5% of farms are to be affected by the change, campaigners claim. In an effort to support its 250-strong network of farmers, McCain has launched a new ongoing package of support for its growers, equating to an additional $30 million investment over the next 3 years. This will help ensure the long-term sustainability and resilience of British agriculture, which is vital to the country's food security. The company added, "This package sits alongside existing measures, which includes working together with growers as they transition to regenerative agriculture practices and ensuring fair prices for their potatoes." James Young, Vice President of Agriculture at McCain Foods GB, said, "British potato farmers are facing a myriad of unprecedented challenges from rising input costs to extreme weather events. At McCain, we pride ourselves on the strong partnerships we have built with our 250 growers and are committed to supporting them. We believe this package bolsters our ongoing collaboration with growers to help ensure the long-term sustainability of British agriculture. Farmers consider quitting industry. After Rachel Reeves' inheritance raid, the UK farming industry is at a critical juncture, as financial pressures and policy changes threaten its long-term viability. A recent study commissioned by McCain, a leading frozen potato manufacturer, has revealed that half of UK farmers are reconsidering their future in the sector due to rising costs, environmental challenges, and tax burdens. As Chancellor Rachel Reeves prepares to implement an inheritance tax overhaul that will further strain farmers, industry leaders warn of devastating consequences for British agriculture. Mounting financial pressures on farmers. UK farmers are facing an increasingly difficult economic climate, with inflation, rising operational costs, and climate concerns creating significant barriers to sustainability. According to the McCain survey, the biggest financial pressures for arable farming decision-makers include rising energy costs, 35%. The cost of fuel and electricity has soared, making it difficult for farmers to maintain profitability. Fertilizer price hikes, 32%. Essential inputs such as fertilizers have seen dramatic cost increases due to supply chain disruptions and geopolitical instability. Environmental challenges, 36%. Extreme weather events, unpredictable rainfall, and shifting climate patterns have made farming riskier than ever before. These factors are not only reducing farmers' ability to invest in their businesses, but are also taking a serious toll on their mental health. More than 55% of farmers surveyed reported that financial pressures were the leading cause of stress and anxiety. Rachel Reeves's inheritance tax reforms. A looming threat under Rachel Reeves's new policy set to take effect in April 2026, inheritance tax relief for agricultural and business assets will be capped at $1 million, with a reduced rate of 20% applied above this threshold. In some circumstances, farms with assets up to $3 million may be exempt, but the majority will not be spared. This move is expected to hit farming families particularly hard, as agricultural land and equipment often exceed these value limits. Traditionally, farms have been passed down through generations, with inheritance tax relief ensuring that family-owned farms remain viable. Now, many farmers fear that these changes will force them to sell their land just to pay off the tax burden. Industry. Leaders sound the alarm. The new inheritance tax policy has sparked widespread concern among farmers, industry groups, and agricultural economists. Mo Metcalf-Fisher, director at the Countryside Alliance, warned that the policy will have far-reaching consequences, stating, "Farmers are already having difficult conversations about the future of their land. With this new tax burden, we risk seeing a mass exodus from the industry, leading to increased reliance on foreign imports and the decline of Britain's farming heritage." The policy is estimated to affect 75% of farms, forcing many to either sell portions of their land, cut back on production, or leave the industry altogether. The knock-on effect will be felt across the entire supply chain, from small local markets to the UK's largest supermarket chains such as Sainsbury's, Tesco, and Asda, which may have no choice but to import more food to meet demand. The shift towards foreign imports. If the trend of farm closures continues, the UK will have to increase its dependence on imported food. This shift raises serious concerns about food security, quality control, and environmental sustainability. Importing more produce from overseas will lead to higher costs for consumers. Imported goods often come with higher transportation and logistics costs. Lower quality standards. Other countries may not adhere to the same stringent agricultural and food safety regulations as the UK. Increased carbon footprint. Transporting food from abroad contributes to greater greenhouse gas emissions, undermining efforts to achieve sustainability. McCain's $30 million support package for farmers in response to the growing crisis. McCain has announced an additional $30 million investment over the next 3 years to support its network of 250 British potato farmers. This package is designed to help farmers navigate the current financial pressures and transition towards more sustainable practices. Key components of McCain's support package include transitioning to regenerative agriculture, encouraging farmers to adopt environmentally friendly practices that improve soil health and reduce reliance on chemical inputs, ensuring fair prices for potatoes, guaranteeing farmers a fair price for their produce to help maintain profitability. Long-term resilience initiatives, providing financial support and resources to help farmers weather economic and environmental challenges. James Young, Vice President of Agriculture at McCain Foods GB, emphasized the company's commitment to supporting British farmers, stating, "Farmers are facing a myriad of unprecedented challenges, from rising input costs to extreme weather events. At McCain, we pride ourselves on the strong partnerships we have built with our 250 growers and are committed to supporting them. We believe this package bolsters our ongoing collaboration with growers to help ensure the long-term sustainability of British agriculture. The future of British farming as financial pressures mount and government policies create additional uncertainty. Many farmers are left questioning whether they can afford to stay in the industry. The next few years will be pivotal in determining the future of British farming, with potential outcomes including increased farm consolidations. Smaller farms may be forced to merge with larger operations to remain viable. Greater corporate control over agriculture. Large agribusinesses may buy up struggling family farms, leading to a shift away from traditional, independent farming. A rise in automation and technology adoption. To combat rising costs, farmers may invest in precision agriculture, robotics, and AI-driven farming solutions. Conclusion: the UK's agricultural sector is facing an existential crisis. Rising costs, environmental pressures, and the looming inheritance tax changes threaten to push many farmers out of the industry. While companies like McCain are stepping up to provide support, the government must reconsider the impact of its policies before irreversible damage is done. Without meaningful intervention, the UK could see a dramatic reduction in domestic food production, increasing reliance on imports, and putting the country's food security at risk. The coming years will determine whether the British farming industry can adapt and survive, or whether it will succumb to mounting financial and policy. Here's another news: Labour sending billions to foreign countries, while pensioners left in poverty. The government has earmarked spending $13.7 billion on foreign aid projects for 2025-26. As Britain freezes its way through winter, Labour has come under fire for leaving pensioners out in the cold in terms of their finances, while at the same time spending billions on foreign aid. When Sir Keir Starmer's took office in July last year, the Labour Party said the development aim of the international aid budget was a world free from poverty, on a livable planet. But back home, many pensioners have felt this pinch this winter as Chancellor Rachel Reeves slashed winter fuel payments in her October budget, just as many older people struggle with higher energy bills. The Treasury has also signed off on a series of above-standard council tax increases. Normally, councils are not allowed to hike fees above 4.99% without a referendum. But Labour has given the green light to huge increases of as much as 10%. At the same time, the government is increasing foreign aid spending by $500 million for our next financial year. Tory MP Kevin Hollinrake slammed the increase in sending money abroad when pensioners at home were under pressure. He told The Telegraph, "First, Labour snatched away the winter fuel allowance and is forcing councils to hike up council tax to pay for Labour's new jobs tax, despite Starmer promising not a penny more during the election. Labour's views on pensioners has been laid bare in recent months. They'd rather leave them out in the cold so they can sort pay settlements for union barons and hand billions to foreign countries. According to the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, many countries have had large reductions in aid from 2019 to 2023. In a report published on February 12th, it said, these included Pakistan, 305 mir to 69 hours, Ethiopia, 2989 to 164, Syria, 223 to 109, Sudan, 93 to 51, and Yemen, 216 to 109. The Labour government, which took office in July 2024, says its development aim is a world free from poverty on a livable planet. Its priorities include economic transformation and addressing unsustainable debt, providing climate finance and humanitarian aid, conflict prevention, and empowering women and girls. The Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, has commissioned 3 reviews into UK aid policy and is currently considering his response.